Have you ever wondered why a dog enters your life at exactly the right moment? Maybe it wasn't just luck or a random choice. What if your dog is actually a sign? A gift sent to remind you that you're never truly alone. In today's video, you'll discover 14 powerful reasons why God might have sent you a dog, and how every wag, cuddle, and silent gaze carries a deeper message meant just for you. Get ready to see your best friend with new eyes and realize that sometimes love comes on four paws. First, so you never feel alone. Loneliness isn't always about having no one around. It can exist right in the middle of a crowd behind the noise of busy conversations. It's that feeling that no one really understands you, that no one is waiting for you, that no one notices how tired, afraid, or empty you feel. And right then, she appears. The dog, asking no questions, with no conditions and few words. She just walks with you, lies in the next room, watches you while you drink your tea, offers her paw when you're sitting there in silence. She doesn't promise that everything will get better, but she does something even more important. She stays. With her breath, her closeness, her silent attention, she draws a line between you and the world and lets you feel again, I am not alone. Second, so someone is happy to see you every day. In a world where people often look past each other, respond only briefly, and let their moods dictate their actions, a dog remains. The one being whose joy at your arrival never changes. No matter what happened, arguments, tiredness, or silence, he greets you as if you're the best thing that ever happened to him. That wagging tail, sparkling eyes, bouncing, spinning around you, every part of his body says, you're back, and now everything's good. It's not a show, not conditioning. It's pure, honest, deep joy, free from pretense. Even on your hardest days, even when everything seems to fall apart, your dog shows you that you are still infinitely important to someone. Before we continue, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more heartwarming videos. Third, so you learn to love unconditionally. Dogs don't care about your salary, your looks, or your past. They're not interested if you're late or if you forgot their food. They don't love you for something. They love you because you exist. It's a love without deals, without reproach, without expectation. And somewhere along the way, you change. You stop needing to be instantly understood. You become more forgiving of mistakes. You start to simply accept. You care, not out of duty or to be thanked, but because there's someone who needs you and loves you in a way no one else ever could. A dog is a daily lesson. He shows you what real love is, without conditions, without calculation, without fear of rejection. He loves in joy, in sickness, in silence, even when you're at your limit. Fourth, so there's always someone waiting for you at home. Sometimes a home is just a space, empty, cold, silent, even with furniture, lights on, familiar things around, without a living expectation, it can feel strange. Then there's the dog, for whom the sound of your footsteps is an event. He hears you on the stairs, races to you, sometimes stopping mid-run, overwhelmed with joy just because you've come home. It doesn't matter if you've been gone 10 minutes or all day. For him it's been an eternity, and your return is a celebration. No grudges, no drama, no blame, just joy. The dog doesn't wait because he's bored. He waits because you are his anchor and now his world is whole again. He doesn't just greet your body, he senses your tiredness, tension, and pain. Just being by your side gives his life meaning. Fifth, to remind you that being there matters more than words. When someone suffers, inside or out, they instinctively look for someone who understands. We want to talk, explain, share, get an answer. But sometimes, words lose their power. Every explanation is exhausting, every question too much. Then the need isn't for conversation, but for closeness. A dog doesn't analyze, he doesn't wait for the right words. He doesn't ask why you're sad or demand explanations. He just stays, in the same room, on the same sofa, on the floor next to your bed, at your feet at the end of the leash. He doesn't withdraw, isn't offended, doesn't disappear. And sometimes, knowing that someone stayed, that someone feels, that someone is there, even if you're silent, have no strength, and shut out the world, is enough. Sixth, so you learn to care. A dog is not a toy, a decoration, or background noise. He is a living being, utterly dependent on your attention. He has no schedule, no social role, no way to complain, Only you, your hands, your decisions, your presence. Every morning you learn to get up, not because of the alarm clock, but because someone is waiting for you. Every walk isn't about convenience, but about what's needed. You notice when your dog shivers from cold, hides from noise, is tired, needs water, sleeps poorly. Gradually you start to hear not just his bark, but every little sign in his behavior. Caring stops being a chore. It becomes habit, as quiet as a breath. You begin to notice how another being lives, not because he speaks, but because he's there. The dog teaches you to care without drama. Not heroically, not for show, not for praise. Just every day, food, walks, attention, a gentle word, peace in your presence. And one day you realize you can see someone else's needs now. 7th, so you never feel forgotten. Life has moments when it seems like no one's waiting for you. The phone is silent, the door remains closed, the day passes in stillness. People forget to write, lost in their own worries, appointments, plans. The world moves by, not noticing you've grown quieter, a bit more tired. But your dog never forgets. He needs no reminders. He doesn't care how many friends you have, what you share on social media, or how often people mention you. For him, you're always the one never to be forgotten. Every morning starts with him searching for you. Every minute of waiting matters. If you're in another room, he follows. If you're sad, he lies beside you. If you've been gone for an hour, he greets you like you've been gone forever. He remembers things you don't notice, your scent, your voice, your footsteps. He knows where you spend time, where you sleep, when your breathing deepens. All this tells him you are here. 8th, so you recognize what loyalty looks like. The world teaches caution. Don't get too attached. Don't trust without guarantees. Don't open up completely. Even self-love often comes with conditions. As long as things are easy, as long as everything goes well, as long as you meet expectations. But a dog knows no such conditions. He doesn't analyze, he doesn't question, he demands no proof, no explanation. His loyalty doesn't depend on your looks, your success, your mood, or your age. If you're sick, he lies beside you. If you're angry, he stays. If you're sad, he's just there. He won't trade you for someone louder or happier. He doesn't compare. He won't go looking for something better. A dog is living proof that loyalty is possible, not as a gesture, not as a rule, not out of duty, but as a way of being. He won't choose another, even if promised more. He'll wait in rain, in snow, in noise, and in silence. 9th, so you don't forget that happiness lies in the little things. When life becomes an endless race for success, recognition, money, and security, it's easy to lose the ability to enjoy the simple things. Everything seems insufficient, measured by size and importance. But a dog doesn't live by those standards. His happiness is a sunbeam on the floor in the morning, a warm blanket, a new path, your steps on the stairs, a slow stroke, a slice of apple from your hand. Every reaction reminds you, the big things hide in the small. You just have to pause, look, feel. He's happy just because you're there. Happy for your voice, your scent, your glance. He doesn't need an event to be happy, and with him, you learn it again. You linger at the window a minute longer, pet him longer, walk slower, look him in the eyes, smile because he stole a sock. And suddenly you realize these are the moments you've been missing. 10th, so you can believe in goodness again. There are times when goodness feels like a myth. People grow harder, words sharper, the world louder. Burned once, cautious the second time, closed off the third. Suddenly trust feels dangerous, openness naive, and faith in goodness seems pointless. In such times a dog enters your life. Without drama, without grand gestures, simply with honest sincerity. He hides nothing, plays no roles, he just wants to be with you for no reason other than he feels it. He licks your hand, not for treats, but because you're his person. With every look, every breath at your feet, you feel there is still something in this world that is unbroken, still pure, real, and good. A dog doesn't do great things, but every day he works a small miracle, he stays good. And with that, he teaches you not to fear goodness anymore. 11th, so that someone accepts you as you are. Often we have to be someone, function, hold ourselves together, hide our tiredness, pretend to be strong. Even with loved ones, it's sometimes hard to truly be yourself. Sad, confused, vulnerable. And then there's a being who demands nothing and makes nothing of you. A dog doesn't judge, compare, or condemn. He accepts you, especially when you don't like yourself. He sits with you when you're irritable, sleeps at your feet when you're sick, wags his tail even on your worst days. He doesn't care if you're productive, cheerful, or successful. He wants only one thing, that you are there. And that is a rare treasure, to be with someone who doesn't expect you to be better. Every smell, every voice, every movement is familiar and precious to him. He doesn't turn away when you make mistakes. He's not afraid when you break down. He doesn't leave when you're silent. He stays because no matter what, you are his center. 12th. So you have someone to hug. Sometimes a person doesn't need words, advice, or analysis, just a touch. Quiet, warm, without judgment. A hug isn't just a gesture, but a way to say, it matters that you exist. But not always is there someone you can hug without awkwardness or restraint. A dog fills that gap. You can pull him close, rest your hand on his body, hug him quietly. He doesn't pull away, doesn't ask for an explanation, isn't afraid of your tears. His body, warm, alive, present, becomes the answer to everything bottled up inside you. Dogs can't hug like humans, but they can be in a hug. They stay when you feel you hold them tighter, carry your weight when you lean, and remain even when your breath catches with pain. 13th. So there is always living warmth near you. The world can be cold, not just because of the weather. Coldness often lurks in words, in actions, in the silence of empty rooms. Even when everything seems fine, something real, warm, and physically tangible is sometimes missing. A dog brings this warmth, not as a metaphor, but in a real sense. He lies at your feet, presses against your side, falls asleep next to you. His breath sets the rhythm of your evenings. His fur becomes a blanket that needs no switch. This isn't just physical contact. It's warmth that doesn't judge, doesn't demand, expects nothing but your presence. A dog doesn't know what's going on at work or why you're sad, but he senses when you need someone simply to be there, alive and breathing. This warmth is always real. It doesn't come from a screen, doesn't require payment, and doesn't vanish with a mistake. It comes on 4 paws, nudges you with a nose, and stays quiet in your embrace. 14th. So you're not afraid of growing old. Growing old can be scary, not just because of wrinkles or aching joints, but because over time you start to feel invisible. You move slower, speak quieter, become more cautious, and often feel on the sidelines. People turn away, hurry past, forget, and you're left behind at your own pace with your worries. But then there's a dog, one who doesn't count your years, doesn't compare, and doesn't prefer young, fast people. He stays with you even if you move slowly, take longer to get up, or forget things. His interest in you doesn't fade. On the contrary, it grows softer, deeper, closer. He grows old with you. And suddenly you realize you're not alone in this process. You both move more slowly, sleep longer, breathe gentler, and between you a quiet understanding grows. Life isn't about rushing, it's about being together. Maybe now you see your dog with new eyes, understanding that every moment together is more than just routine. It's a message of love, loyalty, and connection. No matter what life brings, your dog is there to remind you that you are important, needed, and never truly alone. If this video touched your heart, don't stop here. Click on the next video that's appearing on your screen right now, and keep discovering the hidden ways our dogs change our lives. Your journey with your furry friend has only just begun.